Out of all the couples who participated in the new season of Netflix's Temptation Island, nobody had fans more confused or more passionately outspoken than Shante Glover and Brion Whitley. Shante, 29, and Brion, 26, went to the island after meeting at church and dating for less than a year. Brion said that he was hoping to prove to Shante that he could be less of a flirt and be faithful to her. Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching for more details. Brion and Shante's story was painful to watch at times, as they, along with the other Temptation Island couples, struggled to keep their eyes on the prize, i.e., their partners. The purpose of going on Temptation Island, in theory, is for couples who are on the cusp of either breaking up or taking the next step to figure out if they can actually be faithful to their partners. They're separated on an island filled with male and female tempters, and they are supposed to prove they can withstand the temptation. Brion and Shante went on Temptation Island. During their introduction to Temptation Island, Brion and Shante were open about previous infidelity being part of their relationship. In the beginning of their relationship, Brion said he broke up with Shante for another woman. After he realized the grass isn't greener, he went back to Shante. Brion also went into detail about how he partied a lot in his past and went from woman to woman. He experimented sexually. He said he enjoyed all of this, but Shante wasn't on the same page as him. Brion cheated on Shante on the island. Temptation Island viewers have seen it all, but Brion's actions on the show were truly appalling. After having a threesome in the bathroom with 2 female tempters, Brion said that he didn't regret it and that Shante would take him back. Despite host Mark L. Wahlberg's attempts to talk some sense into Brion, he remained defiant. He knew Shante would see the footage of his indiscretions, and he disrespected her anyway, and said she wouldn't leave him for it. Out of all the couples, this was the most egregious act on Temptation Island. Shante and Brion left the island together. During the show's final bonfire, Mark sat with a tearful Shante and a solemn Brion. Shante seemed strong, and viewers were hopeful she'd choose herself and leave Brion. I can't imagine how Shante felt during these scenes, sitting next to her partner while he went into detail about what happened. She looked traumatized, and I don't blame her. Shante began by saying that going on the island was Brion's idea, so he could prove he could have platonic relationships with women. She told him his actions made her feel worthless. She said she knows she doesn't deserve to be treated this way, and for a while, it looked like she was going to leave the island alone. Brion cried as he told her how sorry he was, and leaned on Shante's heartstrings when he said his terrible upbringing caused him to have all these issues now. As tension built, Shante seemed to crack. She asked if she could have a minute to think, and then went off to the side where a producer was waiting. When she returned to Brion, she made the shocking announcement that she would leave the island with Brion. Shante announced their breakup. Temptation Island fans were vocal about Shante giving Brion another chance. Shante and Brion declined to participate in the unofficial Temptation Island reunion on the Vile Files podcast, but host Nick Vile said it was due to work commitments. It wasn't because they didn't want to take accountability for the way they left the island. It didn't take long for Shante to make that choice. In early April, Shante posted to her Instagram story that she decided to break up with Brion. I had a feeling that Shante would eventually leave Brion. The best choice would be for Shante to remove herself from any environment where she's been disrespected, and Shante eventually did that. She just needed more time to process all of it away from the public's prying eyes.